Hi, welcome to the Native Wild Man channel. Your host, Sean Wilson here, and I've got one of my really good friends with me, Flatlander Mike.
Hey.
And he's gonna be the chomper today, the fish.
Fish on, dude.
So what I'm gonna show you, okay, this is a hook. We're gonna go safety on this. Since he's gonna play the fish, he's gonna have to pull drag and...
Right.
Ow.
I have to lock my finger in because I don't want hooked.
What I'm gonna do is cut that off. It's right on the knot. I'm gonna take this hook and throw it on the ground.
Oh.
I'll pick it up later. Okay, we're gonna take this and I'm gonna do a uni knot, which is go through like that. Oh, you don't want it to twist. Oh, it doesn't matter as much with braid if it twists or not, but you don't want it to. Pull it through. I'm gonna do one knot because that way hopefully I can get it untied off my, just pull it through. Alright, so this is safety. So I'm out there, I cast out. About yay far. Now I'm, oh, hold up. Oh, hey.
You're not coming down. Now that ain't proving nothing about that good.
And that's why you never do just one loop on the knot. But that's what I wanted it to do anyways.
Here, I'll show them my way. The stangy way, right? Careful of that stangy thing. Only I go through the hook twice, then make that loop, and I go through 3 times.
But don't go through 3 times so we can get it back off.
How about 2?
Okay, 2. Well, I guess I got a sharp knife. I can cut it off. And
Kind of like your key ring, you just don't want to, or that wire line, don't want to, keeps wanting to slip.
probably because it's on the key ring.
Well, you need 3 to 4 or 5 loops.
Yeah, I know. I normally do about 6, but
that might work. I'll wrap my finger on it. So.
okay. I lost my first bait, so I recast. And okay, I start reeling in, and I feel a fish bite, and he's going, and I'm keep going, and I'm sitting here reeling like that, and the fish is just taking drag. And what's going to happen is it's going to come loose. The fish is going to come loose, and you're going to lose your fish. And also, what I just did, which is real bad, is I just tangled my, or I didn't tangle it, but I put line twist in my line by spinning it when the fish was taking off with it. Now here's what you want to do. You want to have your drag, you want to have it set. This is a 6-pound test. You want to have it about 3 pounds, which is right there. Okay, now here's how you properly fight a fish. I'm reeling in and trying to get a fish. I feel it. He's taking drag, right? He's taking drag. Okay, what I do is I just sit here and wait. Then he stops taking drag and I reel in. I reel him in a little bit. Oh, you're supposed to keep onto it this time.
Not taking my shoe off.
Yeah. Okay, you reel in a little bit. Then he starts pulling drag out again when you're reeling. So you don't keep pulling, you just stop. Sometimes you have to hold it like that because it's a big fish.
What do you do when he starts going back and forth?
When it goes back and forth, you go the opposite way. So if he's going that way, go up. And you always want to watch which way your line's going. Then sometimes he'll come to you and then you want to reel in.
You don't want your rod high, do you?
It's about 45. Yeah, you want to keep your rod about a 45-degree angle when you're fighting a fish, because that way when you move it, it's a quick reaction. Because if you keep it down low like that, I just lost the fish. But if you fight with it like this until you get it all the way in, and then
I'm giving it up, man.
Then you unhook the fish.
Oh. It's a hard fight.
So, and another thing, I'm using 6-pound test. Now I have to find my hook. Oh, there it is. Oh. I'm using 6-pound test, and when one catches it, it blows wherever. All right. And everybody, thank Flatlander Mike for helping me with this video.
Hail, Thor!
Hail.
What? Stall. What is the skull? Anyway, I saw a guy I watched bushcraft, European, Norwegian style. He used that skull word the other day. I need to learn that more.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're trying to talk about right now.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
thinking it's like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like my friend was saying, you can do like 4 knots and be good. But I like to do 6.
3 minimum. 3 minimum.
3 minimum.
4 or 5 is fine.
4 or 5. But you don't want to go over 6. All right. Now, all right, grab this.
I'm gonna have to run. Check my phone.
All right, cool beans. Okay, I'm gonna grab this rod. Okay, I'm out here fishing, reeling in a big fish, line snaps. That could be a variety of things. Drag set too tight. Oh, before I forget, this little reel right here, never, because you're using 6-pound test, never tighten the drag down 100%, because the fish will break your line. And for those of you who use the closed face like a Zepco or the I think Johnson makes Abu makes a few, Fluger makes a couple. Closed face reels that the line's enclosed to everything is just a push button one. Never, even if you've got like 65-pound braid on it, never tighten those drags completely down, because it will mess it up, because they're not very well built. So anyways, sitting here fighting a fish, like I said, line breaks. Or you get a snag and something real big and you have to break your line. And don't get like angry and like just throw your pole like that. This is a junk pole, but you don't just throw it like that, because some of the reels, they've got graphite or magnesium, and if you do that, you're going to break your reel.
Okay. Alright. I'll talk to you later. Yeah,
And
20 minutes.
when you're fighting a fish, never high stick it like this.
Alright. Bye.
On especially rods like this, you don't want to high stick it, because you'll break your rod. Here, you can show them what high sticking is. When you're fighting a fish, that's high sticking.
That's high. Or even like this, medium like that's about best way fighting fish.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't get too high, he'll handcuff you.
Like I like to do a 45, which is about like that. But you don't want to go any higher than that. Or try not to. Sometimes if you like got real heavy line and you're and reeling in like that, that's fine. But when he starts taking drag, you want to keep it at that 45 or something. That way you got the feel of him, and because at nighttime sometimes you can't always see which way he's going, so you have to feel it. So 45 is a good angle to keep a good feel on the fish and a good fight.
Yeah, you give him too much, too high, and he'll get too much slack. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, multiple things can go wrong if you high stick it when you're reeling in. Okay.
Good job.
Another thing you want to avoid, chose this one because it's pretty easy. Can you move, please? Pretty, I mean, it's easier to cast this one and backlash it, but well, backlashed a little, not as much as I wanted it to.
Sorry about that, bro. I wasn't too much help, but I better take off.
Oh, you were perfect help.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, peace be with you. I'll talk at you.
That's a backlash. All right, cool beans. That's a backlash or a bird's nest. As you see, I had to flick it out there really hard, and I kept my finger off the thing. So, what you do when you do that, I mean, it's going to happen using these reels. So, oh, I went in pretty deep. Oh wow. Oh, I might have to take this out to the lake. A long cast. Seeing if I would have had a fish on there, it would have been lost by now. All right, there we go. And another thing you don't want to do is, like, when your line's on the ground like that, don't just start reeling it in. You want to hold it and keep a little tension on it. That way, if it happens to knot up, you can fill the knot. Okay, now here we go. Here's how you cast these things. Keep your thumb on them the whole time. We're going to pretend that that's live bait. Or live bait, cut bait, you know, something that you can just sit in the water and let leave. Alright, we'll pretend this stick is the edge of the water. Yeah, I can see it on the camera. Actually, there's a bigger one. Let me grab a bigger one. Yeah. Ow. Damn it, that hurts. I cut myself at work today on something in the mud. It stings and hurts a little, went in pretty deep. Okay. Okay, there's the water edge, it sticks. Okay, let's say a friend invites you out fishing and they're out catfishing. Pretend that there's somebody sitting there fishing. And they invite you out. Then he knows you like to cast and retrieve style, artificial bait. I like to do both actually at the same time. So anyway, let's decide you want to make a cast over here near the boat. And you do that, you reel in, you don't catch nothing. You do this. And you and your buddy first say, hey, what's up? Oh, hey, how you doing? Doing good, la-di-da. However it goes. Before you start, or as you're starting to fish. And you're like, hey man, where's your line out? Then he points, he's like, right in front of my rod, straight out. It's like, all right, cool beans. I won't cross it. And you make a long cast. Well, I guess I didn't go very far. Still nothing. Then you make another long cast. That actually, for being just a hook, that went about to, you see where the corner, just past the corner of the shed, probably almost to the door in that shed. Still nothing. You see a fish jump over there and your buddy's line's there. So you make a cast there and you're reeling in, but the fish don't bite. And then next thing you know, you got your buddy's fishing line. And then it gets all tangled up in the knot. Oh, I'm in the water now. And your bait's under the water, and he's paying attention more to the tip of his rod. So he goes to set the hook to find out that, and then what that can cause is your lines will get tangled, knotted up. Somebody might have to cut a line or take a lot of time to untie the knot. It's real frustrating. I've done it myself. I've had friends do it to me. Got one guy that he's always notorious for it, but I don't fish with him. I haven't fished with him for years. Well, no, we took him out a couple summers ago, and he's a large guy. He's a good guy most of the times. He means well. But anyways, I had to have my truck running in the air conditioning because it was super hot. But yeah, we fished together for a long time, and he's somewhat picking stuff up, but not all the way. I think I finally got him off the treble hooks though, because he's always using a treble hook. I personally don't like them, and a lot of people do, but I will choose something else over a treble hook, always. Unless it comes on like a crankbait or a hard bait that I buy. Then I use the treble hooks. But for catfishing, that's another don't for me. Is don't use treble hooks, because it always seems like they're going to swallow it, or they're going to, or all three hooks are going to get stuck in it. It's almost a guarantee. Alright, my last don't. Let's say you're out fishing, got your rod just set up like that. and you're messing on your phone, or your friends are talking and somebody steps in front of you or something happens, and then you get a bite. And nope, I don't think this is going to work too well. And your pole's not, your pole's unintended. That's actually, come on. And they're pretty good. Okay, the fish can't do this, but it's a demonstration. But, oh, you're not watching and you don't have your rod very secure. Oh, bye-bye rod. I lost a rod this weekend to a fish. And I can say I haven't ever lost a rod to a fish in 40 years of fishing. So, you know what they say, there's a first for everything. And another thing that I personally don't think you should do is, if you got your bait full of moss, don't just start slamming it in the water to clean the moss off. Just physically pick it off and throw it on the ground. And then okay, we're done fishing. We caught a few fish and we learned from our mistakes. And then I go to leave, and I do go to leave. I hook it through there. Okay. And then I reel it up super tight, which of course I'm not, the hook's right there. I rolled it up super tight to where it's okay. If you don't have a bait keeper, this is the proper way. I'm not going to roll it up super tight in the eye hole anyways. But what I'll see a lot of people do is they'll roll it up like this, and they'll pack it away, and they'll store it, and they'll sit for till they go fishing again. Never store your rods like that. Luckily, this one has this bait keeper or hook keeper right here. So hook it on like that. And then you reel it to where it's tight enough to where it'll stay on, but it's straight, and keep it as straight as possible. Because rods will get memory over years, and what will happen if you keep it bowed, it'll want to stay bowed. And I've never fished with a bowed fishing rod, so I can't tell you how it'll affect the fishing. But I do know that if it's like this for a long amount of time, let's say you're somebody who goes out once or twice a year and you store your rod like that. So I've seen people even do it even tighter. But what that's going to do is it's going to cause memory in that rod, and it's going to want to stay bowed. Ooh. So that is my do's and don'ts. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it, because I put it out here to try and help people out. And I tell people out on the lake too. And some of these lessons are lessons that I've learned throughout fishing. And I'm sharing them with everybody. Anyways, peace and long life.